Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning. Is everybody in from the foyer?
Bonnie's back.
All right.
Welcome back, Bonnie.
Okay, if you would please stand as you're able for our opening song, Blue Boat Home, written by Peter Mayer. And we'll have the chorus for you guys to join in, the words on screen. Otherwise, our lovely musicians will take care of you.
All right. Those of you who are at the Peter Mayer concert will recognize this song. The melody is actually an old church tune, but he wrote new words to it, which are in the UU hymnal, he says. And in honor of Earth Day, which is this Wednesday. So we decided this was an appropriate song, Blue Boat Home. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. One more time. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Peter Mayer.
All right, say good morning to each other. good to see everybody feeling so good this morning. I'm glad we got a good crowd too. Good to see all everybody's faces. All right. Good morning to everybody. This week's photo submission is from Donna Russell, and this is a hike near Wapatki. So as a reminder, if you're out hiking or you're out on vacation, you find something cool in your backyard, you can send me pictures, and I'll include it in the morning slides. Just send them to me. You can either text them to me or email the office. All righty. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. If you're a first-time visitor today, please feel free to fill out one of our either blue info card or we have white info cards out there and return it to a greeter. And let's get into the announcements. All right, we have an Amazon wish list of items that you could purchase for Unity if you'd like. There's a QR code. It'll get you straight to the list. And we also have a link directly in our newsletter. Needs board is out there, and you can just double check. We don't have a lot on there at the moment, but just double check and see what we need help with. Have you seen us? Okay, well, last week we only had one problem. Now we got two problems. So, yeah, okay, so, yeah. All right, so we have a live trap out for the chipmunk, don't worry, but the mice are a whole nother story. Anyway, so we're working on it, and once the critters are caught, we will do a nice deep clean of the church. If you're in here during the week for prayer team or other things, please let me know of critter activity. This morning we haven't seen our friends, but they were definitely here on Friday. So just let me know, and I'll let you know when they're gone. All right, call for platform assistance. Do you have anything that's important to say? Can you tie it to this week's message? Let me know if you're interested. If you're not scared, you come up here and talk for 2 minutes. You can tell jokes, you can tell stories, you can just read off a piece of paper. We'll clap for you anyways. Just come on up. So just let me know if you're interested in being a platform assistant. And if you can't get a hold of me, talk to Trina. All right, it's time to submit photos for the Mother's Day montage. We'd love to have some great family photos like these humorous ones here.
Father's Day too.
Oh, well, it's still a little early. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyways, if you've submitted photos previously and you just want to keep the same photo, just let us know. All right, check this out. This was our crew that went to the food center this past Monday, and at least at the window, they served 283 meals. So I don't know how many were served in the room, but we make a big impact when we go over there. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. And check out our beautiful symphony group. And Steve didn't turn around to take a selfie in this, but check out all these fine Unity folks here. And I heard it was a great concert. Let's give them you can clap. So once the symphony's back up and rolling, we'll try and do a group periodically so we give people lots of opportunity to go. And it's fun to just get all the Unity folks together. So, all right, Unity Coffee Hour happening Wednesday, April 22nd, 9:30 a.m., Campus Coffee Bean. Book study, we're on principle number 5, and this will be the last week we do this book. I haven't been told yet what we're doing for the next book, so I'll let you guys know when I know. And if you're a new member from Easter, hint, hint, you have this book. You can read chapter 5 and join in for this last discussion. And then annual meeting, the big day's happening. So what we want to do is we're going to encourage all of our members to attend. It is an open meeting for everybody that comes to this church to find out what's been going on over the past year. We'll talk about different events, how we did financially, etc. And you can also vote on the new board members. And speaking of voting for the new board members, if you've received your ballot in person last week or if you've checked your mail lately, you should have it. You can drop off your ballots in this drop box today. But please make sure your name is at least on the envelope so I know who it's coming from. If you were here last week and gave me a ballot, come check with me because I got 2 that didn't have names. I don't know who they're for. All right. And then if you'd like to advertise in our newsletter and the Sunday slides, these are the prices for 6 months or a year. And here is all our local business partners. Let's give them a round of applause. Every one of these businesses is tied directly to our community, and we keep growing this list, and I'm ready to add a second slide. Look how full that is. So let's get the word out. We can get more businesses on here. That'd be great. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Unity of Flag staff is here to support you in affirmative prayer. You can ask a prayer partner. Prayer partners, if you're in the room, please raise your hand. Prayer partners will be available after today's service here at the Serenity Room if you're in need of prayer. You can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY for 24/7 prayer support. We also have a prayer box. Michael? Yep. And you can write your prayer requests and we'll hold them in consciousness for 30 days. You can also contact the center here at 928-526-8893. That can be call or text. I'll get it to the prayer team either way. All right, and now for opening prayer, let's welcome up Miss Marcia Wiesner. She is our board secretary, prayer partner, volunteer, and friend. Come on up.
Thank you. Steve, are you in a position to copy down any prayers that we could get? That would be great. I got to say, I called Silent Unity last week, and I got the best person, and she told me to imagine I was walking down a row of flowers, and they were all leaning forward and clapping for me. This prayer is going to suggest a ritual, which I also need to introduce into my life. If you would rest into a prayerful attitude, however that is for you. Take my words as if they're your own. It's easy for me to feel prosperous when money is coming in. Today and going forward, I'm also going to emphasize the prosperity of money going out. I will bless the bills that I pay, the repairs that I pay for, and the fuel or electricity that I put into my car. But there's so much more to prosperity than money. I will also feel prosperous in the love that I give and the service that I provide. As I give, I am participating in the great circulation that is prosperity. And so it is. Okay, does anyone have a gratitude or a prayer request that they'd like to share with the community?
I have a lot of gratitude having a daddy-daughter dance with River last night, and just 3 hours of fun and food and a really good time. So that was awesome. One of my favorite days.
All right. We bless daddies and daughters.
I'm having a hard time getting it.
This is for my stepson. He's 70. And he's talking to me about maybe being homeless in Reno. So let's pray for guidance for Ken Jr.
Ken Jr., may we see him in prosperity. The prosperity of having a home. The prosperity of paying for a home. And yes, we see him knowing his divine wisdom and divine love as things proceed in order.
I'd like to have prayers for Bob and Charlotta, who haven't been here the last couple of weeks. They've moved from their apartment to the Bluffs, and just prayers for their adjustment and getting settled in their new place.
We so love Bob and Charlotta. And we see them finding great comfort in their new facility with more services. And we hope to visit them there. Okay.
My gratitude is that work will be more mellow this week because we got all our new windows in. That was quite noisy and quite cold. There's 3 more big, huge windows to get in. So seeing guys dangling off the roof, putting windows in is a little bit scary. Wouldn't be me. And also I want to have healing prayers for my sister. She has pneumonia, and so she's been having to really take it easy and use oxygen and all that kind of stuff. So prayers for Sarita.
Sarita?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we see Sarita knowing her divine health and her divine wisdom in taking good action. And we see her caretakers knowing their wisdom in this situation.
Prayer for a very dear member of CSL who had surgery this week, and that she continues to know that her wholeness, the truth of her wholeness, and the truth that she is always, always a child of God.
Yes. I don't think I need to add to that prayer. Thank you. We see her.
I would like prayers for my friend Ella, who has had a really bad back injury and will be going through surgery, and I will be losing her as my handy woman, Airbnb cleaner, and she's moving on, so it's a big loss for me also.
We see you both adjusting to new circumstances with ease and grace and continuing the love that was that relationship.
I just want to say that I have gratitude for having had surgery on my knee and am now up and walking again and feeling good and less frightened now that it's over. So I'm grateful for all the prayer support that I've had here.
And we're grateful to see you walking so nice.
I'm asking again for prayers for my neighbor Debbie, who I've been helping to take care of for quite a while, because the issue, the lung cancer, seems to be progressing, and it's been amazing how well she's done. But now she's having a lot of discomfort and doesn't always understand, because she also has dementia that's gotten worse. So I'm praying for her to be as comfortable and well cared for as possible, and for me to know how to handle this as it progresses.
Thank you. We've known that you've been doing wonderful things for Debbie, your neighbor, and we see you participating in the cycle of giving and gaining substance from it. I don't mean money, I mean emotional substance. We see her in the best of care. What's with this side of the room? Okay. Are we complete? Oh, that's right.
So I wanted to say thank you for all the prayers from the community after I had my back injury. I'm off the walker, but I'm not off my rocker. So I'm up and walking, which is good. I'm going to physical therapy. And on April 27th, I'm going to get the spinal injection I need for pain. And then shortly after, I'll be back to full steam. So I just want to keep me in your prayers and just be aware. I don't know what that week's going to look like, but you'll at least have me next Sunday. So.
That's an important one. Yes, yes, we're so, so glad for that. We're so, so glad for that. That's faster than you anticipated getting it, so blessings. Okay. We collectively affirm with you and those that you pray and celebrate with that the presence of God is in all things, and it is the one power. We know with you that Spirit knows the details, and we're grateful for the power of prayer and the good news spoken. And so it is, and so we let it be.
Thank you. All right, hold on a second. Let's pump the brake. No, you can sit down. But before we do, platform assistant, everybody that came in, did you get coins? If not, raise your hand. Okay, everybody got coins on the way in? Okay, perfect. All right, come on up, Trina. Trina is our platform assistant, guest musician, night mystery master, volunteer, and our friend. Take it away.
All right, good morning. Let's do our unity principle number 5 together. It is not enough to understand spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. And the short version, live the truth you know. So, this morning's topic is money. And I had, on Friday evening, I got a phone call from what my caller ID said was my bank. You may know where this is going. It was not my bank. It was an individual who apparently they now can clone their own number so that it appears to be a number in your contacts or a number that is familiar to you, which is a frightening thing. So public service announcement, if somebody calls you from a bank or a credit card company, do not assume they are really who they say they are. So anyway, that is, USAA is my bank, but I think it happened. If they can do it with that bank, they can do it with any bank. So needless to say, I went down the rabbit hole for a little while and eventually caught on and hung up on the man and called my actual bank. And we're in the process of getting things squared away. Nothing was apparently removed from my account, but pretty terrifying, prosperity-wise. Pretty terrifying from a money standpoint. Just that I had perhaps given this person a fair amount of access into my financial world. And being that the topic was money, this morning I was PA, I still had not come up with anything to talk about, and I realized that reviewing the prosperity principles of unity was a good place to start, just to put me straight on, because I spent a couple of nights of waking up at 3 a.m. going, did I give him my PIN? What exactly was in that 20-minute conversation, So it was pretty scary. Prosperity is a spiritual principle, so I'm going to read what Unity, Uncle Charlie, has to say about prosperity. The founders of Unity taught that there is an eternal flow of abundance in the universe, and we are part of it. We can draw from it whenever we wish, and our needs will always be provided. We only have to believe it. It is not about believing in Jesus or God. It is about believing in the principle of prosperity, that good always is available to us. Look at the abundance of the natural world. The flowers proliferate, trees have countless leaves, and the night sky is so full of stars, we have yet to discover most of them. The same abundance in our lives can only be blocked out by our own doubts and fears, by our focus on what we think is lacking. Weekly Unity magazine in 1934, during the Great Depression, talk about a fear around money time in our country's history, said, many a person puts obstacles in the way of approaching good fortune by talking hard times and by indulging in fear and worry. Prosperity does not materialize in such an atmosphere. Difficult as it might seem, our work is to believe in a world of plenty, no matter the immediate circumstances. So I am just going to hold this whole circumstance in my, hold it to the divine, and just know that my finances are not connected to the material world; they're connected to God. And I'm going to see this individual scuttling off to do whatever his next interest is, and it won't be anything to do with my bank account. Scuttle away, sir. Yeah, that's my visualization for this morning. Right. And who do we go to next? Meditation? No.
It's Steve.
Steve, all right.
This is a song by Donovan, who joined the Beatles and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in India to learn how to do meditation back in the 60s. It was up some laughing river where I'd gone to spend the day. I had such fantastic visions, I could hardly stand to stay. And I stood up within myself and suddenly felt free. And I stood above the burdens that puzzle you and me. I became awareness that was shared with all around, with the trees, the skies, the flowers, and the wind, the sun, the ground. I heard the birds were singing, and I found them same as me. And I understood our sorrows and why they should not be. I see it all as part of us, to know and share alike, with a universal willingness to know and do what's right. To understand our brotherness and stop this awful race. Let our children grow in peace, know their lives shall not be waste. First there is a mountain, then it seems the mountain's gone. But then if you take another look, why, it's been there all along. We can be just like that river as it laughs along its way, or stand beneath the shadows that take the sun away.
Today is my privilege to welcome our guest speaker, Sabrina Johnson. We'll welcome her up, and we'll give her a moment to get adjusted, and we'll go into meditation.
Before we start, I just want to share that Angela Taylor, who's a Unity classmate of mine wrote this song and recorded it, and she gave me permission to share it with you guys, and I love it. I think you've heard it before.
Peace, peace, I am peace, I am peace, love, love, I am love, I am love, joy, joy, I am joy, I am joy, wisdom, wisdom, I am wisdom, I am wisdom, strength, strength, I am strength, I am strength, power, power, I am power, I am power, beauty, beauty, I am beauty, I am beauty, divine, divine, I am divine, I am divine, I am, I am, I am, I am. I am.
So let's just stay in a few minutes, in a minute or so, of just this silence, knowing this truth. I am all of those qualities that God is. And I think we have another song.
am I starting?
Oh,
I thought you started.
no, I'll start. Okay. We'll try that again. That's right. We'll try
Not
that
I
again.
went second.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that pitter-pat? Yes, that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. But now I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover crossed over. And if I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that pitter-pat? Yes, the happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with the blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover's crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller.
Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side. On the sunny side. On the sunny side of the street.
Okay, so that was a wonderful song to get us feeling all upbeat. So when, how do I adjust this a little bit? How do I adjust this down just a little bit? Oh, right here. Right here. Right here. Okay. Sorry, I just don't, these look like antenna eyes looking at me. Okay, right there, perfect. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so when we were setting the dates for me to do guest speaking here, and it turned out this was going to be back-to-back this week and next week, I thought a two-part series would be good. And I have a notebook that I keep topics on that I think about might be good for future talks. And so I was going through it, and nothing really seemed to click. And then I got the divine nudge, talk about money. And then the conversation happened. And I was like, I don't want to talk about money. And I said, I don't want to talk about money unless I feel comfortable. And the reason I don't usually feel comfortable talking about money is because most people, I find, don't feel comfortable talking about money. But I do. And that makes this little codependent tendency feel uncomfortable. So anyways, I've heard quite a few times from the pulpit that what's a minister's job to do? To make anyone in the congregation who feels uncomfortable comfortable, and to make those who feel comfortable uncomfortable. like I have that much power, but anyways. So I'll start by sharing my own history with money. And as a child, I don't recall ever hearing anything like, oh, we don't have enough money for this, or we can't pay the bills, or that's too expensive. Now, I don't know if my parents had money issues or if, anything like that. I don't know if there was money issues or lack of money. I just don't know, but I don't recall hearing that. But as a teenager and young adult, I I live paycheck to paycheck, many times pleading with the landlord and the gas company and the phone company to have an extension. But with all of that, I never felt a sense of desperation. Rather, I just learned how to adjust my spending. And so I would thoroughly compare prices on everything from dish soap to socks. And I wouldn't buy anything unless I spent a lot of time considering whether or not I really needed that. And I did this very meticulously when buying products. But one thing I never did skimp on was when paying someone for their services, because I really believe in valuing and compensating for that time and energy and talents and skills. So I never did skimp on that. I compensated accordingly. So as to spending today, I still compare prices, but not as much as I used to. I rarely buy on first impulse, but I don't take as much time as I used to do that. And I would say that what has changed over the years isn't that I won the lottery or I got some great inheritance. No, what evolved is I continued with my dedicated spiritual practice of meditation, daily meditation and prayer, and journaling and contemplation, as well as other spiritual practices of tithing and service. I began to feel more secure in and trusting in knowing who and what I am. My own self-individuation began to emerge, and with this, my spiritual understanding of knowing who and what I am also began to mature. I know that no matter what, I am God's child, for I am an individuation and an individualization of God in my own unique expression and emanation of God. And as such, I am all the qualities of God, just as we sang with that meditation, all of it. I am peace, harmony, wholeness, joy, power, freedom, love, light, and yes, prosperity and abundance. All of it, the whole shebang. It's in my own unique spiritual DNA as an individualization of God, as a child of God. And this is the same for you. It's true for each and every one of you here today. It's true for all of us. We are all God's children. So this innate knowingness of who and what I am is what I call my greatest inheritance. So in a way, I did receive a pretty nice inheritance. And it started early, as I was raised in unity. So one of the first complete sentences I learned to say as a child is, I'm a complete child of God. And I'm a perfect child of God. And I used to love that part. I'm a perfect child of God. And then when I got punished by my mother, I would say, if I'm perfect, why are you punishing me? And she would say, God made you perfect, but your behavior wasn't perfect. And in many ways, this is how we seem to be with money. We are perfectly, divinely financed and provided for by our heavenly Father, Mother, God. And yet, even though we know this, we don't always necessarily remember it. And so our behavior and beliefs around money don't always align with this knowing of the spiritual truth of what we are. That being that we are the heirs to all the riches of the kingdom of God. Now, what I said embodies the first two principles of the 5 unity principles. Principle number 1, God is all there is, absolute good and everywhere present. This divine energy underlines and animates all existence. And principle number 2, human beings are inherently good as they have a spark of divinity within them. Our essence is of God, making us naturally good. The spiritual truth of our oneness with God is that we have the spark of divinity within us. We have this very essence of God within us, making us naturally good, capital G good, which I say is God with an extra O. So we are the goodness of God incarnate. But sometimes our thoughts and words and actions and behaviors don't express this inherent goodness, because as human beings, God made us to have free will. So we have a choice as to how we choose to think, speak, act, and behave. And what happens is cause and effect. Our actions are the cause, and the effects are the consequences of our actions. And this is true with everything in our lives, whether it's money, finances, health, peace of mind, relationships, all of it. The principles are still the same no matter what we're looking at or what we're dealing with. So before I continue, I'm going to ask you, everyone was given coins when they walked in, right? You have your coins? I have mine too. So I want to ask you to study the coin. What's the image on it? Is it of a president? What are the words on it? And how does it feel? And while you're holding this coin and studying it, I invite you to take in these words written by our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, or as Trina said, Uncle Charlie, in his book Prosperity. He writes, God is substance, not matter, because matter is formed, while God is the formless. God's substance lies back of matter and form. It is the basis of all form, yet does not enter into any form as a finality. Substance cannot be seen, touched, tasted, or smelled, yet it is more substantial than matter, for it is the only substantiality in the universe. Its nature is to be substand, or stand under or behind matter, as its support and only reality. Silver and gold are manifestations of an everywhere present substance and are used as symbols for it. So what he's saying is that God is, as substance, is behind everything, within everything as the substance that's behind it. So the coins that you're holding in your hand right now and the dollar bills in your wallet or purse are symbols of formless matter, of divine substance, of God's substance. Money is formed substance that is a symbol of the formless reality out of which it was created. So going back to Charles Fillmore, he says, substance is the first given form in the mind. As it becomes manifest, it goes through a threefold activity. In laying hold of substance in the mind and bringing it into manifestation, we play a most important part. We do it according to our decree. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee. We are always decreeing, sometimes consciously, often unconsciously. And with every thought and word, we are increasing or diminishing the threefold activity of substance. The resulting manifestation conforms to our thought. As he thinketh within himself, so is he. What he's saying is we have been given the free will and the power to decree, meaning we can decide something and it will be done unto us. This is cause and effect. And it's also the third principle of the 5 unity principles. Human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginnings in thought. Thoughts take shape as expression and manifestations. That's the final of the threefold activity. But before that comes the divine idea that we are given by divine mind. That's the second of the threefold activity. And it begins with God mind, divine mind. So this is the threefold activity of substance. So the coins that you're holding in your hands are a symbol of the formless divine substance made into form. Made into form by our thoughts. For someone years and years ago came up with, or rather received, the divine idea of using form as money as an exchange for goods and services rendered. And it's with our thoughts that we give meaning to the symbol of money. We give the symbol of money a concept in that we construct an idea of what money means to us, what it represents to us, within the context of our own individual mind that has been created out of our experiences. So some years ago, when I was studying with a Buddhist teacher, she gave us this example, asking us, what does a rose mean to a whale? Nothing, right? That's because a whale doesn't have the context or experience to know what a rose is, right? But what is a rose to a gardener? The gardener looks at the rose and creates the conceptual thought of a job well done. That job represents, wow, I did a good job with that rose. What's a rose to a lover? The lover looks at the rose as a symbol of love. What's a rose to a florist? The florist looks at the rose as a symbol of and means of income. So we do this with all formed substance, not just money, but all material in our lives. We assign it our own meaning, which comes out of our own individual context and experience with the thing. So for some, money means lack, as in there's never enough money, and that represents a scarcity that they feel and believe in. For some people, money means save, as if I don't save enough, I don't know what will happen, so I better save every penny because I don't know what will happen. And that means it represents to them security. Money represents security. Some people look at money and they look at it as opportunity. They look at it as seeds, money as seeds that can be used to plant and grow more money. And there's a whole lot of other meanings that people assign to money. Again, depending on their beliefs about money that they learned as a child, their experiences with money, and other contexts such as culture and religion. So you might be wondering, if we assign our own individual meaning to the symbol of money, why is it then that there appears to be not just a prevalent, uncomfortable attitude with money, but also a seemingly prevalent belief that there's not enough money, a belief in lack? This is because as human beings, we have blurred, fuzzy lines between us. We're one with God and with one another on the unseen side of life, including many times on the unseen side of life of our consciousness. there is only one divine mind, that being God, and we all dwell within this one mind of God with our own individual minds, our own states of consciousness. But because we're all in this one God mind, let's say soup together, we're all with one another as one. And so the lines between our consciousness and the consciousness of others is rather fuzzy and blurry and messy. Think of it as coloring outside the lines because there really are no lines. So when it seems like we're thinking things along the same lines as others around us, or that society in general seems to be thinking and feeling the same things that we're feeling, this is called race consciousness. Unity teaches that race consciousness is a collective, illusory human belief system. It's not a divine God mind. Race consciousness focuses on lack, limitation, and fear. The bottom line, race consciousness is a belief in separation. It's not the spiritual truth of the highest consciousness of the Christ mind that is within each and every one of us. The Christ mind knows that the Father and I are one, and so there is no such thing as lack or limitation. Jesus Christ so understood his oneness with God that he never looked to material things for substance. He looked only to his Father, to God. And that is what we, who see Jesus Christ as the great example, aim for in our relationship with God. When we do this, there is no such thing as lack, limitation, or fear. There's only an unshakable faith and belief that God is our all-sufficiency in all things, and our physical health and well-being, and our peace of mind, and our harmonious relationships, and our financial prosperity, and in our abundant supply of all that we truly need and desire. When we know our oneness with God, that each one of us, we are God individualized in our own unique emanation and expression of God, then we understand that this all-sufficiency of God is within us. It's always been within us and will never not be within us. For God created us in its same spiritual image and likeness, so we have all the qualities of God within us, including abundant prosperity. This is our spiritual DNA. It's only until we can truly understand this and believe this without any doubt whatsoever that we can live a life of prosperity, of abundance, of financial freedom. So I have my own coin here. It's a 1964 silver quarter, and I have a whole bunch of them. I have 50 pounds of these silver quarters. And I brought this here today for the show and tell part of my talk. So when I was 12 years old, my mother died, and subsequently my father had a breakdown. And what happened was that when I was 16 years old, I ended up moving in with my 93-year-old great-grandmother in her one-bedroom apartment in East Hollywood. And she lived on $90 a month, which was her supplemental Social Security income. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot about many things, including money. And I also learned that I was very, very blessed to have a village that helped and supported me in many ways. And although I would never wish this upon anyone, I am very grateful for everything that has happened because it's made me who I am today. So as I said at the beginning, when sharing my experiences with money. When I was younger, I lived paycheck to paycheck. And as I also said, I never felt despair. This is because I knew that no matter what, God was with me. Even if I didn't always feel or believe this, there was some part of me that knew this. And I believe this was because of my upbringing in unity. When my mother died, as much as I felt abandoned by her, and yes, abandoned by God as well, there was still this part of me that knew I never was truly alone. This might have been more of a hope than a faith or belief, but it was enough to get me through the tough times. As I grew into adulthood, I came to believe that not only was God always with me, but that God was within me, and so I could never be separate from God. I also knew that my mother was always with me, just as she promised that she would be before she died. And I could feel her presence and intuitively hear her talk to me with loving words of encouragement and guidance and support. And I still hear those loving words. So years later, when I was 50 years old, I got a phone call one day asking, is this the same Sabrina Johnson who's 50 years old and was raised in Newport Beach? When I said yes, the man on the line said that he was the son of my mother's best friend. Now, I had not seen him or his mother since I was 14 years old. When he told me who he was, the first thing I asked him was, how's your mother? I think of her every day, and I'm so grateful for everything she did for me. And he told me that was why he was calling, that his mother had died, and before she died, she kept telling her children, we need to find Sabrina. Her mother gave me this bucket of silver quarters to give to her. So her son, who is a doctor, found me through a medical database. And now I have this symbol of my mother's enduring love for me. For that's the meaning I give to these silver quarters. I keep them as a reminder that I can never be separate from the one infinite divine source of all substance of supply. That the divine love of God, to quote Mary Baker Eddy, always has and always will meet each and every human need and desire. And so I'll close with a prayer, and I'm going to use the words of Charles Fillmore once again. As you lay hold of substance with your mind, make it permanent and enduring. Realize you're one with this. With it, you are unified with the one living substance, which is God, your all-sufficiency. From this substance, you were created. In it, you live and move and have your being. You are fed and prospered by it. The spiritual substance is steadfast and immovable, enduring. It does not fluctuate with market reports. It cannot be hoarded away to cause a deficiency in the supply and a higher price. It does not decrease in hard times or increase in good times. It is the same constant, abundant, freely circulating, and always available. The spiritual substance is an abiding thing, not a bank deposit that can be withdrawn, nor a fortune that can be lost. It is an unfailing principle that is assured. We can no more be separated from this supply of substance than life can be separated from its source, that being God. And so it is. Amen.
Okay, this is Dave's song, his lyrics to the tune of April in Paris, and this is for Dave and Elaine, our romantic unity couple. April in Flagstaff, Columbine in blossoms, holiday tables under the trees. April in Flagstaff, this is a feeling no one can ever deny. I always knew the charm of spring, loved to meet it face to face. I knew my heart could bring my unity friend's warm embrace till April in Flagstaff, when I can have fun. Winter is done, it's spring. April in Flagstaff, Columbine in blossom, holiday tables under the trees. April in Flagstaff, this is a feeling no one can ever deny. I always knew the charm of spring, loved to meet it face to face. I knew my heart could bring my unity friend's warm embrace till April in Flagstaff, when I can play golf. Winter is done, it's spring.
All right, it's time for our celebration of abundance. Can I get a couple young volunteers up here? One more. Don't make me pick. Carolyn, come on up. Why don't you take that? Yeah, if you'd like to put your coins in from today, go ahead. All right, let's get our baskets up here in the meantime. And our board basket blesser. Come on up, River. Just stand right here. All right, just stand up here. Yeah. All righty. Now let's welcome up Betsy, our board basket blesser this morning.
Our board consciousness is abundance. We are abundant and thriving community. Our second board consciousness is the new minister. We are attracting the perfect new minister for Unity of Flagstaff, who leads and inspires us into our next phase of spiritual growth and service. We release our limitations and give from abundance. We are abundant. Thank you, Spirit.
All right, baskets go forth, and I'll take the coin buckets. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I'm here to remind you about ways to give. You can give cash or check. We have an option for Zelle. This QR code works best through your banking app. This is in our newsletter, website, and other places. I love to go check our P.O. Box, P.O. Box 1740, Flagstaff, Arizona, 86002, if you love to do snail mail. And this will be the last time I ask for this. Tax season's over, so if you're getting a tax refund and you don't need it, please consider giving it to Unity of Flagstaff. We'll put it to good use here in the community. Alrighty, and our investment account is open. If you want to give specifically towards the investment account, let me know, and I'll make sure that the money gets over to our advisors. Alrighty, let's bring those baskets up. And then Betsy, if you'll lead us in this.
Thank you for this bounty. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the good we do and will do. We are joy-filled, and so it is.
All right, thank you, everybody. Please stand as able, and we'll reprise Blue Boat Home.
Wide universe is the ocean I travel,
and the earth is my blue boat home.
One more time. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
All right, if you'll join me in the prayer of protection, can I get some people up here for the motions? Come on up. All right, let's make sure we get them on camera. All right, the love of God surrounds us. Claim the light. The love of God enfolds us. It's you. Sorry. Mute her. Okay. Sorry. Let's start that over. The light of God surrounds us. Claim the light. The love of God enfolds us. Claim the love. The power of God protects us. Claim the power. The presence of God watches over us. Claim the presence. And wherever we are, God is and all is well. Create an amazing week, everybody. Thank you.